Croeso nôl, welcome back to Fearless in Devotion, the Wrexham AFC podcast, sponsored by the Fat Ball Bar and Restaurant. A mini podcast for you tonight, just a short one to discuss the game over the weekend against Ipswich. And there's only two of us, Rhys and
Best
Andy,
two.
but the best two, which
Yeah.
I think everyone can agree with. Let us know in the comments if you agree. If you don't, I respect that, but don't comment.
No.
Andy, what did you make of the draw against Ipswich Town, 0-0? A classic of the genre, I think.
I think it was. I think we parkied the bus, and I
Hey.
am going to copyright that.
I've
Uh,
not heard that before,
oh, okay.
genuinely.
Right.
So
Oh,
hats
I
off
like
to you. I'm
this.
going to search and see if there's any references to it online.
Oh, I bet there's loads on Twitter, and everyone just says I'm just a thief. That was the ultimate defensive show. A nice low block that that just summed up how much that team has sort of come on in the last couple of weeks. The defense looked rock solid. Ipswich had so much attacking talent, and they've spent quite a bit on their squad, but they couldn't get near us. They had one chance at the end, which was gilt edged, but you would expect to survive one or two of those. In a match like this, I looked at the team beforehand, and I thought we're going to struggle here. I thought
Mm.
there wasn't too much attacking threat there. The wing backs were obviously different from the ones that we played the last couple of weeks when we were really flying. So,
Mm.
I thought if we can get anything from this, then
Yeah.
it's a really good point. And fair play what we did do. We defended so well.
Well, the stats are pretty dominant. They tell a story. Ipswich 62.6 possession, 19 shots to our two, eight on target to our zero, 24 touches in our box compared to three for us in theirs. But you're saying they didn't actually create that much clear cut
It
anyway.
wasn't like Arthur was pulling off save after save after save.
Right.
Look, he looked confident. He looked good out there,
Mm.
Arthur. But he wasn't. He didn't keep us in it. He wasn't man of the match by an absolute mile. Look,
Mm.
I thought it was a very absorbing 0-0. But when you give me
Mm.
with those stats, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I
Yeah,
was just
but
four
also
pints deep.
that's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah,
So,
no, it's a good point. Look, as I said over the last couple of weeks, you draw your away games and you win your home games.
mm,
So over the last couple of months, we haven't been winning our home games, but now we are. So this point becomes, if we win on Wednesday, this becomes a brilliant point against
yeah.
a team that many thought were just going to go straight back up. They're down from the Premier League, so
Mm.
we've faced Leicester, didn't lose. You know, we're taking on these
Yeah.
Premier League teams, and
Last
we're
minute to
doing
Southampton, last
yeah,
play of the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we're doing well against them. We're doing well. It's amazing what we've done with a brand new team. Right, this is a completely different team to the one that what got promotion from League One, and we've lost 1 in 11. That
Mm.
is absolutely nuts. And Parky and the recruiters, the likes of Sean Harvey and the people who brought these players in, well done, because this is fantastic. And I don't think anyone thought they would gel together so quickly, and they're just going to get better and better.
Mm. You mentioned Arthur there. I mean, since he's come in, obviously for Danny Ward, following the injury early in the season. He's just been incredible, isn't he? He's barely put a foot wrong. Well, a couple of early wobbles maybe, but the last in this unbeaten run we've had, he's been imperious, hasn't he?
I think there was a big question mark over Arthur when he first came in. I think his confidence got knocked that he didn't start as number one. And I think he thought to himself, am I a championship goalkeeper? I need to sort of test out the division because he's never played this high. You need to test out this division and see where he is. Now I see a supremely confident individual. Now I watched him quite closely when I went to Portsmouth because we were right by him, and everything he did was just with an air of confidence. The fact that he now has arrived, the lad's got all the raw potential to be a fantastic keeper. There's a few sort of things to his game, like his kicking and his commanding, but on Saturday he looked like he trusted the three in front of him and they trusted him, and it was going to be incredibly difficult for Ipswich to get past us, and that proved to be the case. Oh, I can't hear you. You've muted yourself.
Ugh. And that's a big change since the first five or so games of the season, isn't it? When we were really looking shaky at the back. I mean, what is it about? Obviously, there's that they clearly trust each other, but the back three are looking really solid, aren't they? Who's impressing you in particular?
I'll just give Domheim player of the season now. I mean, fair
Really?
play. He's
Mm.
been so good since he's come in, so good. He must just make defending with him so easy. And let's have a word for Dan Scar as well, because a
Yeah,
lot of people didn't think he would feature much this season. What he has done is come in and been absolutely rock solid. Look, okay, we do drop down a little deeper when he plays because he does lack pace. And
yeah,
so the low block yesterday was very low. And so really that's why we didn't create too much. But, as an impenetrable object, no one could move him.
yeah,
Him, Scar, and Scarheim and Cleworth look a proper unit now. And can I
yeah.
just say, in front of the midfielders are just absolute workhorses. Dobson, Sheaf, they're
Dogs of war.
yeah,
Dogs
they
of
are.
war.
I've said it. I've said
Yeah.
it. The dogs are war.
Mm.
Um, but they give such good protection
Yeah,
away from home. I thought Dobson had another good game. Some of his passing was a bit awry, but
yeah,
for putting his body on the line and getting in the way
yeah.
and sort of really sort of covering the yards, I can't really fault them.
Here's a question now: is whether you can fault someone. Can you fault James McClean after his performance on Saturday?
No, no, I can't. I can't. I thought he was great when he came in. Um, Look, he was given a very specific job to do, defend for your life, and that meant he wasn't bombing on as much as he normally does. So in that role where he's on the back foot, I thought he was fantastic. Probably one of his best defensive performances for Wrexham. They had nothing, they didn't get much down that side, and they're up against a 36-year-old who hasn't played much. So I've got nothing but respect for
Yeah.
for Jimmy for that performance. I thought he was fantastic. And due to our rivalry, people might think that this is faint praise, but it isn't. I thought he was
No.
great.
Good. It's not mind games either, because you wouldn't do that.
Oh, I wouldn't do that.
No. Um,
You'd punch my mind right out of out of the skull.
Obviously, as discussed, we didn't have a huge amount of not threat going forward is the wrong option, but is the wrong wording. But we didn't have much time in their box. But what did you make of what you saw in attack yesterday in terms of who was up there? There's been concern, hasn't there, about what's the plan B for Keiffer for a while. Do you think that's starting to become a bit clearer now? But what is the plan B?
I still don't think we have a proper plan B for Keefer.
Hmm.
I think Sam Smith was a very willing runner, but looked rusty. He went down too easily for me. He always does. I just don't think he's the physical presence that Keefer is. So I still think we're struggling there. I think really and truly, Sam Smith is the other striker. He's the Mullin,
Yeah.
not the Palmer.
Well, why Hardy looks the obvious one, doesn't he?
Well, because
He's
he's
not the
bigger.
same player as Kiefer, but he's a bit bigger. He has a bit more of a presence in the air.
Again, I don't think he's that Palmer. I don't think he's
No, he's not. I agree with that. Yeah.
I don't think he's your blood and guts centre forward. I think he's the player who plays off the blood and
Mm,
guts centre forward and picks up the. I think it's a bit of a misnomer that Hardy's size. I don't think that's his game. I think again he is more the creative striker rather than one who's going to occupy your defenders. Look, I honestly think we had a chance of winning that game yesterday if Keeper played because the ball would have got up there, it was stuck more. We would have been able to join in the attacks a lot more. So I do think, in many ways, maybe we let them off the hook a little bit. But
yeah.
it's tough for you to read me all those stats and say that we deserved to win that game because I just don't think we did. But
No.
that we can praise what was a brilliant defensive performance. We can also sort of say that up front we were a little bit toothless.
Yes, yes. No, sorry, my neighbour knocked on the door then and was waving and that, which is why I was
Have you met
momentarily
your
just
neighbour yet? This is a new house, isn't
I
it?
have met, well, I've met the wife, not the husband. The husband just got by. Now I feel bad now, but it's still, I'm sure we'll have a chance to meet at some point.
Okay.
This is more important, Andy, and your presence to me is much more important.
Okay.
What did you make of Saturday as a day out? Because I mean, it's another one of those days out that we've been craving for, and they seem to come every week now, don't they? But was it a good one?
Oh yeah, I mean that's my 77th of the 92. So I'm slowly working my way up there. I thought Portman Road was great. I thought Ipswich was a good town for we got there pretty early. Had a good drink around the place. I went to a place called the Three Monkeys for some food, and then the Spread Eagle, which is a real ale pub, and had some there before walking down to the ground. Can I just say the food I had at Portman Road was fantastic.
Was it really?
Well, I ate, I'll slag it off. I'll slag
You
football
will.
food off when I have to. But that sausage roll was great. I actually thought I was going to go back and have another one. It was really nice, really well seasoned. It wasn't your sort of your I don't know, six for eight for a quid from Spa. That was a
No.
proper nice sausage roll. That, and it was, even though it was quite a tight area, it was quite easy to get a pint and stuff. So it was just quite well set up, I thought.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, that's good to hear. I mean, how much did it cost?
The sausage roll,
Yes.
a couple of quid,
Couple
four
of
quid.
quid. That's incredible.
Well, don't quote me on that now because I didn't actually buy it. Karina got it. I think it was about 4 quid.
Really?
Yeah,
That's it in the stadium.
yeah.
Must be more than that.
Right. I'm going to text her as.
Yeah, because that would be really if it's a genuinely well seasoned sausage roll as well, which, as you've said, are few and far between these days.
Yeah.
Few and far between. Find out. Well, I'm sure we'll get that updated very soon.
Oh,
But,
she's just texted me saying I don't know.
money's no object to these high flying London executives. Don't even look at what's coming out of the bank account. Incredible scenes. Um, Andy, next up we got Bristol City. Um,
Cheaper than London, I was told.
Cheaper
For
than
the
London.
same.
Okay, right. The sausage roll, not Bristol.
Yeah.
Bristol isn't much cheaper than London, to be fair.
Okay.
So Bristol City, many changes in there for you?
Oh, is Kakache ever going to be fit? Um, I just think that look, I knew Longman would play on Saturday, and he didn't do too bad, to be honest. He's very industrious. He's a big lad, and he covers the ground. But
It's a good crossing as well. I think he's actually one of the best crossers of the ball that we have. Not the best, but one of the best we have.
yeah,
From the
okay.
right in particular, though, I think.
Yeah, I think on the left it's a bit of a wasted opportunity. I
Yeah.
wonder if McClean can go twice in as many,
Mm,
twice in a week. So I would like to
mm,
see Kakache back. Obviously, Kabore is going to be out for a while now. We probably won't see him until February.
yeah.
After the AFCON, he'll probably get fit, go straight there. Big loss. Because
Yeah.
he just adds that extra dimension, doesn't he? The pace
Yeah.
of him means that the opposition have to take a step back. And when they're looking up against Longman and McLean, they know they can step forward. Um,
Yeah.
and so it just sort of really tightens the game up a little bit. So ideally, I'd like Kakache back. I'd like Moran Kakache back. To be honest, I
Yeah.
think that would be a good. That would be two good people to bring back in. But as I said earlier, I don't think McLean's done anything wrong
No.
at Ipswich. I thought he had a really good game.
And Bristol City are flying high, just demolished Swansea 3-0. So
That's
it's
not
going to
hard,
be.
is it?
Pardon?
That's not hard, is it?
No, well, exactly. They're struggling at the moment, aren't they? But I would say that, it's going to be a challenge, isn't it? It can be a good match.
Yeah, but every match in the Championship
Yeah.
is a challenge, is a tough match.
What I would say is a win would be a decent statement actually. If in a week you've drawn to Ipswich and you then beat fourth in the table, is that when you start to show actually, we can win some of these games? 'Cause I think we've proven that we can draw with anyone on the day. We won't get embarrassed by anyone, but maybe not delivering some of these wins that we need to.
Yeah, but you keep draw's not a bad result on Wednesday
No.
against a team that's up there. It's so tight, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
I look at the table and at first I go, right, how far away from the relegation? Well, quite far. I think 6 or 7 points. But then the next thing you dare to look at is how far off the playoffs are you? And we're not far away at all. Look, there's a lot of clubs. Yeah, there's a lot of clubs within that range. So it's very unlikely that they're all going to lose and we're going to win and we're suddenly going to be in the playoffs. That's a gradual thing. But the key thing is don't lose matches. Don't lose matches. and the teams you're drawing with aren't storming up the table either. So it's incredibly tight. You just think that if we can put 2 or 3 wins together, we'd be right up there. But yeah, that's easier said than done.
Kind of, it's that little bit torn between obviously desperate to win every game, but probably more desperate to keep this unbeaten run going now because you feel like the longer that can go on, you can really start to get a bit of authority and sort of put the spooks on people that are coming to us as well. And even when we go places, they know, oh crap, we're up against a game here. Sometimes mentally that can be enough
Yeah.
to put a team off their game, put them off their stride because they know that we're going to be very difficult to break down.
Yeah. What do you think has been the difference? Do you think it's just a case of a team have gelled together now, or do you think there's one or two things that have come together to make us so hard to beat?
It's a good question. I'm trying to think back to that first month, or that first month in particular, where it did feel at times a bit Keystone Cops at the back. There were lots of mistakes, lots of errors, and obviously there's been a couple of personnel changes in the team in that time. Um, I really like Dan Scar. I think that he's really solid. Hyam obviously coming in has massively solidified us as well, I think. So I don't know. I don't, but I don't want to just say it's personnel. I think obviously it's taken them a bit of time to gel, and maybe I'm thinking back as well to it's people will say it's apples and pears, but that first season under Parky, we were very inconsistent, and when it clicked really well. But also there were times where the system that he does, a lot of players who've come from different clubs, take a bit of time to get used to it. The
Yeah.
wing backs, how hard they've got to work, and how he likes to play. Not many people play 3-5-2 anymore, or 5-3-2, however you want to describe it. So I
It was
think,
definitely 5-3-2 on Saturday, mate.
yeah, exactly. Depends on who we're playing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's a combination of hopefully it's just them getting used to the system, and it's really going to kick on now. Um,
Do you think Max has got better over the last couple of months?
he just looks, and I'm not sure I've noticed that. Maybe other people have. I've not. As discussed, I've not seen anything in the flesh yet, which I think does help. But um, Max just seems to be the same whichever season we've been in, which is remarkable, really, when you think of that progression. He has just looked at ease wherever he's gone. Yes, you could say Max has improved, but also all of the defenders have, and there've been changes, so I'm not sure you could put it down solely to that. And Arthur, when he came in, it's not just Arthur as well, because Arthur was a little bit shaky in those first few games when he came back in and Danny was injured. I think it's just been a combination of factors that have all come together to we just gained confidence week after week, and sort of the unbeaten run has been a bit of a byproduct from that, rather than and it's kind of like, oh great, we're undefeated in four, we can't be that bad,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
looking a bit tighter. That's not to say that there haven't been really poor performances in those. Obviously, as discussed on this pod, we've had a couple of really poor performances, including the Cardiff game in particular.
Yeah.
So it's not
Yeah.
all milk and honey, isn't it? There will
But
be,
you expect it to be, and a team that's come up from League One has brought in 10 to 15 new players, and has a very rigid manager. Now,
yeah,
look, I've got no problem with the 3-5-2 because it's got us this
yeah,
far. Some might say that if you are losing, you need to change it, change formation. I don't think Parky's gonna ever do that. But as I've said a few times, it's our only formation. But what a formation, because it works.
exactly. And there were lots of people, as they always do, whenever we lose a couple of games in a row, saying that it's the Parky ceiling. Well, at the moment, the ceiling is around 14th, isn't it? Which is our best ever finish.
Yeah,
So in our history, so I'll take it. But I got a suspicion that ceiling is going to go up.
yeah,
Um, Anyway, let's move on. Fantastic win for Wrexham Women, 11-0.
yeah.
And there was some familial involvement, wasn't there?
Yeah, so Ryan Bannett's sister came on at halftime, made a debut. Rosie Hughes' 100th appearance. She scored 4 goals, fair play, and a hat trick from the recent signing, Fane Knox. So absolutely battered them. Uh,
Mm,
so, they just keep marching on, don't they? It just
yeah.
it seems silly how well oiled they are.
it seems like the season where it's really finally clicked, doesn't it? And that consistency has really improved because it's always been capable, but fallen off a couple of times. And yeah, that the table now, with joint on points with Cardiff at
Yeah,
the
so
top,
it was a cup match today, so they're going on a few fronts.
of course. So 22 points out of 22, and Welsh Cup. Was that the first round today?
Uh, don't know. I mean, I don't know to be honest, but
Yeah.
it's look, they're progressing. They're on a few fronts. I think the thing that they've got to prioritise is the league, but anything above that is a bonus.
Yeah. Yes, fantastic result once again. Goals flying in. One thing we wanted to talk about before we left, Andy, was comments made by Stephen Fletcher, wasn't it, on the podcast with the Fozcast? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called? Um, what you? I haven't listened to it. You listened to it. What did he say?
I just think it was quite interesting that he said that he blanked Ryan and Rob for a bit after he got released. I didn't know the strength of feel. You look at sort of Stephen Fletcher and you think he's quite a laid back character,
Mm.
sort of like, did I get a contract? No. Well, never mind. But apparently he was furious.
Wow.
He didn't get one. Um, and blanked Ryan and Rob because he didn't want to take it out on them. Because at the end of the day, it's not their it's not their decision, is it? They haven't gone to Parky. Don't give him a new deal. He's too old. Um,
Yeah.
look, the one thing about the Fletcher thing, right? When we bring on, and I know we mentioned this last week, when we bring someone on in the regimented Parky hour of 70 minutes, um, we don't have the X factor up front, really, do we? Fletcher
No.
was the X factor up front. Now,
Yeah.
it was a
Well,
law of diminishing returns with his age, and
are you saying that he could have done a job for us doing 20 minutes or even 10 minutes at the end of a game for Keiffer?
uh, look, you sort of think, do you want to tie up one of your 25-man squad with a 38-year-old who can't start a match?
Yeah, that's the problem. We don't want someone who can't start. You
Yeah,
can't
look,
have that.
if there was no 25 squad limit, I would have kept Palmer. Sorry, kept Fletcher and
Mm.
given him that cameo role every now and again.
Yeah,
Because there's enough on the bench to allow you to do that. It's just the fact that because you've only limited to 25, you can't give him that that berth, and I think that's what they were thinking about more than anything. And also, there is a law of diminishing returns. He is getting older. He is stepping up again. I know he's played championship football, but he's playing against more physical, quicker, wilier players, and he probably doesn't. You know, the flick or trick that he has that got him past League Two and League One defenders may not work. May not work in the championship, but as something to lift the fans with 20 minutes to go, there's nothing better than bringing Stephen Fletcher on, and I can sort of understand why he would be so annoyed. Interesting. Parky gave a chat to BBC Wales and said he doesn't think he's going to be bringing too many more people in January.
mm.
Um, I suppose where are the space for them, but
But also, what does too many mean? Because you could sign one person who
yeah, it
blows
changes
the
everything.
budget again,
Yeah, yeah.
and that changes the equation, doesn't it? If you go and sign a striker who's
Yeah.
the best
Well,
striker in
if
the
I
league.
could sign up Kabore full time and then I
Yeah,
could get a proper plan B stroke plan A for Keiffer, I
yeah,
think that would be an incredibly successful. I think that's 20 million quid's worth though, isn't it? It's a
yeah.
new striker is 10 and Kabore is going to cost you about 8, 9, 10, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But we know we know they're impatient, but sometimes I wonder how impatient because I just think lads just, let's get gel into the season and then, go for it in the summer where the premium is not
Three
quite as high
points.
as
Look,
well.
if you're still 3 points off the playoffs,
Yeah, yeah.
you can see the lads sort of getting together going, oh, let's
Yeah, and what they'll do is, from what I gather, is they'll say to Parky, "What do you need?" And he'll say, "Okay, well, I need a £10 million striker, and I
mm,
need another left wing back."
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
and
Well,
who's
that's
also
another
on
thing.
5 million. You
Yeah,
know,
I
and
mean,
you can see him doing it.
yeah. And on the left wing back thing, there's more rumours circling that McClean may be thinking about going back to Derry. Uh,
Mm.
he hasn't had the game time. he had a full 90 minutes on
Yeah.
Saturday, but you don't know if Kakachi is fit again, whether he
Yeah.
will lose that place. So
Yeah.
it is an option that maybe James moves on.
Yeah.
At 36, he probably wants to give his hometown club another go. Can I just say we call it Derry, not Londonderry, unlike Rubber and Red. A little joke there.
What a wonderful note to end the podcast on. Actually, what I will do is mention one more piece of news, which is that our esteemed CEO, Michael Williamson, was named Football Industry Leader of the Year at the inaugural Global Football Industry Awards.
Okay.
So it was inaugural, which means it might just be a lot of crap.
Oh well, why can't we've won some pretty big inaugural awards ourselves, to
Also,
be honest.
Global Football Industry Awards does sound very impressive. I mean, it's global, so it has to be good.
I mean, that's the whole world, mate. That's the
It's
whole world.
it's a big place, and
Um,
I've always said
Look,
that.
he has got a lot of plates to spin
Yeah,
at the moment. He's trying to do so much. It's like I don't know if you ever played like football or Championship Manager. You know, at the start where you just there's daunting so many things to do, like buy all the Wonder
yeah.
Kids, set up all the
Like the training regime.
yeah, sell you become Man United boss and sell all your shit players to them for 30 million. All those things you need to do to get your club on an even keel.
Yeah,
And he's still got a hell of a lot to do. So the fact that we're getting closer on the cop, the fact that there's rumours that we might be getting Colliers Park back, all does sound positive. That the
yeah,
things that we need to push this club on, because at the end of the day, we're 14th in the Championship on a three-sided ground without a training ground
yeah,
and not even a viable academy yet.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
you've got to.
And that's another reason maybe why they will not go for it too hard in January. But we've
Look,
been
if
saying
Ryan and
that
Rob
for
will go for it, they'll if they can go for it, they will go for it. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure that no one will sort of go, yeah, I'd like to get promoted to the Premier League, but don't really have a training ground. It doesn't matter.
yeah,
You sort those problems out when you're there, and even if you get up there and enjoy all the nice parachute payments and
yeah,
come back
exactly.
down,
And
it
go
doesn't
again.
matter. It
Yeah, yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah. True, true.
Yeah, look, if there's ever a chance, we would back them to go for it, wouldn't we? We've
We
never,
would.
we've never been in the Premier League. I'll get more of that 77 if we go up there.
You would. Yeah.
I'm done Newcastle.
You haven't done Villa.
No, I'm
Oh,
done
I
Villa.
guess. Yeah, fair, I guess. Is that 77 just against Wrexham, or just in
Oh
total?
no, there's a few others as well.
Fine, fair.
Yeah, I used to cover Premier League stuff, so I'd been
Okay.
to a few other matches, and also I think I'm
Doesn't
future
count.
proofed. I'm future proofed because anyone who comes up from the conference,
Yeah,
I'm
you've done.
going to. I've been there,
Yeah,
so bring it
yeah.
on.
Bring it on. Bring it on. And on that bombshell, thank you everyone for listening. And we will be back at some point.
Newsletter, get the
Andrew,
newsletter. It's great.
when are you going to be back? Because aren't you going to Australia?
Yeah, I'm going to the Ashes, which seems like a dirty word at the moment, on the 5th. But I'll be back for the Preston match, and also we've got the charity quiz on the 28th
Of December.
of December. Yeah,
Indeed.
so
And
please come to that. It's £5 per entry, but it all goes to charity. I think it's your space, isn't it? The
yes, I believe
Paul
so.
Mullin backed
Yes.
autism
So
charity.
do look online on our social medias or on the My Squin Hall website for details about that. I'm sure to be a very, very fun evening. Um, have you booked tickets for more than just the first couple of days, Andy, on the test matches?
I've got all 5 days, so I will definitely not be needing more than two and a bit.
Two in a bit. All right, cool. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.
Goodbye. See you.